what's up, guys? So, just want to do a quick video. Something I've noticed, because I do it, I watch a lot of the YouTube creators, especially in sim racing, and I notice we all do this, and it's getting to be a little outrageous. And if you can look and tell by the thumbnail that I used, it's about accessories. It's really just about all the sim gear that we just have to have. All those items that supposedly make us that much faster. That make us gain that 1/10 of a second per lap that allows us to just win. And the more I buy, the more I spend, the more I go down the rabbit hole of just items and things, and it's getting to be ridiculous, and I know I'm going to do it more just like you. And if you can look, you can tell, I mean, all the different items I've purchased over time. I've only been sim racing for a little more than a year, and in that short period of time, I've got Rev Limiters, RGB Matrix, button boxes, gloves and socks, and just felt like, you know what, let's just talk about it. Let's talk about the accessories that I have, whether I think they're necessary, and whether, to be honest, you should even buy them in the first place. So, a couple of things that I did purchase recently that I think are absolutely awesome. And again, I think for immersion's sake, they're great. For making me faster, they're horrible. It's not like it's added any tense. It just makes me feel like I'm more in a race car sitting in my office. Now, looking at the Rev Limiter, I mean, obviously this is something that, as you can see here, I can use it to shift properly. I can use it to tell where I am in the RPM, so I can shift just at that moment that it's time to shift. Yeah, great. I mean, extra add-on. I purchased it from, and I'll put all the links down below to the Etsy stuff that I've purchased from all the different people who make the gear. I do believe in supporting those people on Etsy who, 3D print and make all these items and use Arduinos to make great products that I totally believe just make it more immersive and do it at a cost many times that is just economical. Like, let's be honest, spending $50 on something, I mean, you can spend that on an evening going to the movies and going out to eat by yourself. So having the ability to say, hey, I want to buy this thing, I can support a local small business, somebody who created something no different than me trying to be a creator on YouTube. So looking at it, it's like, yeah, Rev Limiter, yeah, do I really need it? No, I don't need it. But it has made racing so much more fun. Especially when, some of the wheels that you buy, depending on what you buy, some of them have screens, some of them have Rev Limiters installed right on it. I think those are really cool things. But again, as we know, the more things you want added on your wheel, the more costly it's going to be. Even for those people that make their own, awesome, but time and money go into it. And again, whether you buy the best Fanatic wheel, the Bentley GT that's going to eventually come out, or you buy the BMW, those wheels are $1,300, $1,400, $1,500. GSI $1,500, $1,200. Cube Controls $800, $1,200. No matter what wheel you buy, and some of these boutique wheels are $1,700, $2,000. And you kind of look at that and go, wow, what do we need it for? Like, at some point it gets to be a little too much, and we have to, as sim racers, have them pull the reins back in. Yes, we want the gear. Yes, we want to race. Yes, we want immersion. But it's got to be economical. Like, we can't keep spending all this money. But again, I say this as somebody who spent just like many of you. I just bought an RGB Matrix. Did I really need it? No. You can see it right here. It's a great product. It really just tells me, what gear I'm in when it's not showing the different flags. So, having that in my peripheral, really cool, especially since it's significantly bigger than looking at the dash, and we'll talk about that because I'm using an iPhone 6 Plus or whatever. Because, again, some of the dashes can be quite expensive. I bought this used from one of those stores for like $90. So, I mean, again, you can buy ones from the company. Moza makes a dash that displays some information. If you want to see that review, I did do a review earlier. Check that out. But again, you know, the RGB Matrix, another add-on. I mean, it was $70. The guy did a great job. I mean, I'll put the link down for that down below as well. But again, it's one of those things where you look at it and go, did I absolutely need it? No. Did I need something to show and blink a green flag on there? No, because I could see it in the sim. Did I need something that flash yellow? Not really. Did I need something to let me know car left and car right? As you can see, it's flashing. Honestly, if I just turn on the spotter in iRacing, and I have triple monitors, as you can see, is it something that's necessary? Absolutely not. But again, for immersion's sake, it is so awesome to have. Button boxes, I've got two. As you can see, I've got my ignition and my starter and all these different things that I have added. And you know, this one I purchased, this one I made. Yeah, you can tell the one I made versus the one I purchased. This one was 3D printed. This one I bought off of Amazon, and I've got tons of buttons left from making them. And again, another cool thing that definitely adds when you're driving, being able to use the different buttons. And again, I have a Cube Controls F Pro that I race with primarily. I did just pick up the Moza FSR. I have the CS wheel. I've had the Leo XZ XF1. I've had the Moza GS. And before that, I had the Fanatic gear. I had the CSLDD. And I mean, again, just a litany of different items and different costs and different prices and different entry points to get into sim racing. And it's one of those things where, again, do you absolutely need it? Do I need a dash here that tells me, you know, that Alabama is on upset alert? Nice. No. Do I need one that really tells me what's on the screen that I can potentially see on the game? No, I don't need it. It's not absolutely necessary. But again, it's another add-on, another piece of immersion. And to be honest, of all the things I've added, that's probably the one thing that I do use the most. Just because I turn the wheel off in the sim, and then I have the dash right here, and it's right in my line of sight. No different than if I was driving an actual car. It's right there. So I think it's, you know, probably the most beneficial thing. But again, being able to, you know, change my tires in the pits, being able to turn brake bias, fine brake bias, being able to turn on wipers and, you know, have my little stream deck here so that, you know, I can turn on the different apps, I can set up, record. All of these things are awesome. But are they necessary? No. And then not to mention, I mean, gloves. Gloves. I mean, second pair. Gloves. Third pair. Just got these Moradness gloves. Now I'm going to be honest with you. These are my favorite. If you're looking to get a set of gloves that are padded, one, have the grips on them, two, and you can get customized. I mean, check out Moradness. I mean, the dudes do a great job, and ladies and gentlemen, they do a great job. Again, was it something that's absolutely necessary? No. Sim racing socks. I mean, let's be honest. I race in my wife's old shoes because we wear the same size just about. So, yeah, so again, more accessories, more things I've purchased that are they absolutely necessary? No. Are they making me faster? No. Do they contribute in some small way to my happiness? No. Because I'm already a happy person. But do they make it more fun? Absolutely. Does it feel really cool to take my wheel, let's grab it, pop it on the base? Does it make it much more enjoyable? Absolutely. Does it make it better that I have the RGB lights and I spent extra money on the wheel so I can get the lights and get the rotary encoders here and rotary encoders here? And I didn't need this wheel. I mean, to be honest, I could have stuck with the CSL Elite base that I bought that was used. Honestly, all of the accessories I really don't need, but they are so much fun. And I will tell each and every one of you, buy what makes you happy, but already be happy before then so that you buy what makes it more fun. Buy what you can afford. Don't go broke buying this gear. I'm on a strict allowance from my wife, so it makes it a little bit easier to swallow some of this. But buy what is within budget. If you don't need a button box or you want one, maybe you go on Etsy, you find one at a great price. Maybe you make one yourself. Bought one, made one. Do I need a Cube Controls F Pro wheel? No. Do I need a Moza FSR wheel? No. Did I need a CS wheel with multiple rims? Absolutely not. Do I need wheel stands? No. I don't need any of this gear to sim race. I could literally just go back to what I was using, a chair, some CSL Elite load cell pedals, version 1 that I bought used. I mean, let's be honest, I haven't gotten significantly faster since upgrading outside of the DD base. The direct drive base has been the biggest investment because I'll be honest, the Heusinkveld sprint pedals are awesome. I don't know if I've increased my speed because of the pedals as much as the direct drive and feeling the response instantly. So I would say that's been the best thing. But again, all the gear that I have, all the stuff that I've purchased, you can see on my monitors here that I did get the bezel-free kit. I finally found it at Micro Center just sitting on a shelf. It's like, wow, like they don't really make these anymore, but apparently you can still find them on Amazon, so that's even better. So if you're looking for those, again, Micro Center had some. They had one. And then again, Amazon. So again, all the gear, and this video is mainly just to tell you, buy what you can afford. Buy what is more fun. Buy what brings that immersion to you. At some point, I'd like to have a motion rig with a proper bucket seat, some sort of, at least 3 degrees of freedom, because I think it's fun. And again, I think the more I do this, the more fun I have. And I've actually kind of pulled back on racing some just because it got a little too competitive to the point where it would throw off like, oh man, it sucks, man, I'm not racing again. And I would just like, it's just a game. And we need to realize that it's just a game. Even if you're competing and you could potentially win money, it at the end of the day is just a game. It shouldn't change your outcome on life. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you go out there and you get yourself some sim racing gear. I hope that as you level up wherever you are in your journey, you join me on that ride and you leave some comments down below. I hope that, again, you go ahead and click that thumbs up. Go ahead and turn on that subscribe link, or click it and then turn on those notifications. I like listening to each and every one of you. I love following the big creators that make review a ton of gear and make a ton of content. I'd like to be one of those guys someday, but I also don't want to forget that at the end of the day, we have to be realistic with what people are spending their hard-earned money on. And most of us are not going to have the gear that Will has on Boosted Media. I love watching Will. He's one of my favorites, but he has more gear than I could possibly imagine. He has a whole second house that he uses just to review gear and do his videos. So that is just absolutely amazing. But for many of us, we will never have that level of gear. So it's making the right choice at the right time. Whether it is buying a Moza FSR or a CS wheel, whether it's saving up and getting an F Pro, whether it's getting a SemiCube base, a Moza base, a Fanatic base, whatever the case may be, getting what is within your budget. You do not have to have a direct drive base, but to be honest, the cost has come down quite a bit. I mean, the Moza R5 bundle, that is a really great price for $500. So I would say check that out if you're looking for something that's direct drive. But again, the entry point to sim racing is much better than it's ever been. It's much cheaper than it's ever been. And the plethora of options out there are just great. And again, I say this as a noob who's only been racing for such a short period of time. I plan on doing a video basically about some F1 stuff this year, as well as doing a video on what the best games are to play. As a noob, again, I've spent money on all these games, and it's like, well, some of them are just, to be honest, trash. They're not worth the time. F122. As a person who wants to get behind a wheel and simulate racing, some of them are just trash. And I know some of you will saying, well, wait a minute, F122, no, it is trash, but it is the best game we have that is in for a cheap price that you can pick up. The game is made for console. It is not made for PC. It definitely is not made for using sim gear. It is just not fun to drive for me. But I'll do a future video about that and expand on that. So as always, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Turn on the subscribe. Click on the subscribe link and turn on those notifications. Man, I just can't get that out today. And I hope to see you on everything else. I have some links down below if you're looking to get some Moza gear. I'd appreciate it by clicking on the links. All it does is you pay the same cost you were going to already pay. I get a little bit of commission from those, and it helps me buy gear that I can review, like the FSR wheel. Without the support of you guys, I wouldn't be able to have bought that wheel with my own money, or the money that you guys have so graciously blessed me with, that I was able to get that wheel, review it, and make a decision as to whether I'm going to keep it or not. But again, because of you guys, I was able to do that. So I do have digital motorsports as well. So again, if you're looking for any gear from anybody else, by all means, click on those links down below, and I'd appreciate it again if you subscribe, tell your friends about me, and if I can do better, leave a comment below. As always, it's been great chatting with you. Check out all the links I have for this gear, because the people who make some of this stuff on Etsy is absolutely awesome. So I'll talk to you guys later. You have a great one. Peace.